Before we get started, I just want to say this is a rather long video, but please watch the entire one. There is a movement of wealth out there that's transferring into the positive new earth that's happening. It's under the radar, and I talk about this in the video, but I want to share how you can get involved and that you don't have to know who these people are. They're in high places, there's a lot of wealth, and it is being transferred into the things that are going to transform our planet into something really amazing, what we call the new earth. So I talk about, really, it's the great reset that I have my own definition of. It's great, and it's resetting how we're going to operate, where that money is being funneled. I'm seeing it, I hear it, and I'm seeing the focus of wealth wanting to go into the things that are positive, sharing, giving, very intelligent people who are supporting businesses that are going to be responsible, sustainable, and a whole way of life. And I hope you will watch this whole video because I'm going to talk about how you can get involved. It's exciting stuff. So let's go. Wow, 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 you're going to love this. You know, as a former investment banker, I'm connected to that world. There's a movement going on. You know that statement, the meek shall inherit the earth? It's happening. I'm going to share something with you that is down here. Nobody's really talking that much about it. It's not a secret so much. It may seem like a secret, and it's a secret movement. If you are thinking that we are going to hell in a handbasket, you're going to want to watch this video. Something big is going on, and it keeps getting confirmed with me constantly. I'm going to actually share it with you today. You are going to love this. So get ready, let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. This is my big hat. Are you ready? Oh my gosh, we got some great stuff. First of all, before I start, because once we get into this, I mean, we're going to get really into this. I hope you'll subscribe. Please support my channel because you will tell YouTube you want more of this, because you're going to want more of this. You ready for this? I am going to teach you. I've got new stuff coming out. I've got free stuff coming out. I've got new coaching. I'm going to help you break through fear because you're ready for it. Get ready for this. I want to help you today with this video. What does that mean? If you had no fear, you'd do anything. Probably things you shouldn't do, right? Jump off a bridge. Hey, yahoo! But fear has a really good positive place. And along with what I'm going to share with you today, seriously, you're going to love this. You probably have not heard this out there. If you've read my book, fear is not to be feared. It's not true. Churchill said there's nothing to fear but fear itself, but that's not actually true. Fear has a place. It tells us what we should and shouldn't do in a material world that has endings, right? Has self-imposed limitations. So I want to share with you that there is a space right now that people are going into because we know that our world is shifting so drastically, more than you probably imagine. Depends on what you're doing with your own reality. You have a choice to participate in this or not. We talk about the New Earth shift. What does that mean? It's a new way of life. Now, if you saw my last video, I shared with you something I have held back quite a while from telling because I didn't want to instill fear because people are interpreting things as negatively when it's actually not. What I'm going to share with you today is so freaking off the charts amazing, all right? It keeps getting confirmed with me over and over that this is really taking place. A transition, a secret movement, and it has to do with money and investments. All right, we're going to get to that in a moment. What I want to share with you is that the transition that we're going through, including I'm having visions of flooding. I was on the Jeff Mara podcast. If you guys didn't see that, it's gonna pop up here at the end of the video. You can click and go watch that. I talk about law of attraction, why it doesn't work, and that we're powerful, and that you can create any reality you want, and we are creating it, and people are recognizing this isn't woo-woo, this is quantum physics, and that we really are controlling the future of this planet, and that these floods and things are just her transitioning, planet Earth transitioning just like we do. You know, I don't look the same as I did a few years ago. Okay, maybe I do. But, you know, our bodies change. We go into transformation. It's a beautiful thing. We have been fearing death. Now we're realizing with all these NDE videos that we don't have to fear it. But we really need to focus on what's going on here to transition into the new Earth, because when we go over to that other side, we'll go over with much more joy and knowledge on a higher frequency. That's how it works. We want to raise our frequency. Now, we've always thought of people with money, generally, I'm talking about the general public, as, you know, evil or controlling, and so it keeps us broke, right? The general public's broke, yeah. Work in your job that you hate, you know, be responsible. Oh, those people with money. No, that's out the window. You can be abundant, and I'm going to help you create a mind shift. I've got new stuff coming out for you, because in this video, I'm going to share with you that money out there is going into places you don't know about. When I say the meek shall inherit the earth, people don't go around with big loudspeakers. Egos do. Egos are blasting and, you know, having to say, here I am, and, you know, all the BS that goes on out there. But the meek, they don't require that. They're doing things here under the radar on a super high frequency that people don't even realize is a massive movement. And by the way, I'm not doing any damage by sharing this information, otherwise I wouldn't share it. First of all, we will see a lot of floods and fires and changes on our planet because she's transitioning. We will start to, as we did with our little health issue, we start to choose to either be a community. You're going to love this. We're either going to be a community and work together because we are one. We came in here as unconscious, fragmented individual beings, and now we're learning that we must, even as humans, operate as one functioning community, and that's when we become powerful and peaceful and strong. If you are not operating that way or thinking that way, and you're going into, you need to hoard, you know, water and things, kiss your butt goodbye if we get in that space. There's no hoarding's going to save you, maybe for a couple months. And if you're in that frame of mind, you're going to be in that low frequency with everybody else who's in ego, scratching and clawing for survival in an infinite universe that has no ending. Neither do you. So that's the illusion we want to step away from. And if you've read my book, you realize that there's nothing to ever fear, and that you are all powerful right now, and that there are people with abundance and money who are doing amazing things. They're investing, and if you guys are in my free email list, you know that I'm introducing you to some of these people. Investors. People with money are creating communities, purchasing properties, putting tiny homes on, creating big gardens, not for survival. They're not going into survival mode. They're going in community mode, as in, this is how we're going to start living more and more. So let's start to create it now. People want this. Here's the beauty. People are now, who have held back from doing certain things that are out of the box that most people disapprove of, are stepping forward. So one of my students, you know who you are. I just coached. We talked about this, and he is in a off-grid, sort of off-grid community, and has been doing this for a long time. I said, it's time for you to tell the world what you're doing, because we envy that, right? People out there envying. Well, I don't know about envy is the right word. People want to live that simple life, and now they're not the cuckoos out there. So now we're saying, wait a minute, those are the smart ones, because they're just, self-sufficient and sustainable, and that's how we need to start living, because that is the way of the world that's going to save this planet from that destruction from humans. She's got her own cycles going on, right? We talked about Greg Braden said, you know, if we weren't here, the planet would still go through this cycle of heat and ice age and whatever, and all the other stuff that goes on. Islands have disappeared and come up. I mean, our continents didn't look like this. Why is this such a shocker? You know, oh, we're going to be flooding. No, it's the end of the world. No, it's not. We'll adapt. It's not going to happen. Well, sometimes it'll happen overnight. You usually get warning on these things. And so communities will move and live someplace else in a different way. That's big whoop. We have power in institutions, organizations, and private sectors that are investing in that peaceful new earth, of sustainability, of taking care of one another, people who need some assistance, not handouts, working as a community to earn their, maybe they don't fit into society's, you know, work in a corporation and, you know, have a heart attack. They don't fit into that. They never have. Some are artists and people that have great value that society doesn't pay for that, right? How many times we say broke actors and broke artists? This is why, you guys, I help you to start making money doing these amazing things. You can do this. And this is another movement. I'm creating a movement. It's called Digital Explorers. We're going to go into a world where I'm going to show you how you can create products and services that will help transform this world into a healthier space and create abundance for you. Secret movement of investors. They are putting money into these movements. They're investing in people, just like you and I, who just want to do good things. And stepping back about, you know, we're not pointing fingers anymore. You're doing, they're doing this. Shut your pie hole, because you are focused on the negativity instead of the change, and they're focused on the change, and they're just going and purchasing properties and all kinds of, you know, companies and businesses, and they're investing in things like myself, investing in things that are going to transform people and helping them to become successful too. I'm actually looking at this myself for collaboration, and that's one of the other things we're going into. And I want to ask you, if you're like me, you have been a solo kind of person, a really strong, powerful people have a tendency to want to do everything themselves, and that has to end, because we can't do everything, you know, and survive that way. So I'm having to learn how to collaborate, and it feels really good, and I want that. I want to bring other people in who have more skills and experience than me, and it's time for you to do that. Instead of separation, we have to come together, because all of these differences that we have, let's say it's one whole that's fragmented, right? That's what we are. That's what the matrix is. We took one whole perfect energy field and we fragmented it and went into unconsciousness. And our goal now is to bring those pieces together, and then there's one beautiful puzzle. The picture now can be seen. But we have been saying, your piece is different than mine, and it's a different color and a different shape, and, you know, we push it away. We've been operating that way. So now we realize, wait a minute, the puzzle works perfectly when it all comes together and the pieces interlock. Wow, I didn't know that that picture existed, that beautiful puzzle piece now makes sense. This is what we're doing. Come together as communities. Powerful, wealthy people are in that movement. And also, I want to share with you things that I never spoke about, and this was years ago, of extremely well-known people with a lot of money that I used to work with and have known, still know, have shared things with me that they really are interested in spirituality. And so, you know, they never would talk about that openly. They'd say, well, I'm actually really interested in what you do and, like, you know, how all this works. And, you know, they felt like they couldn't really share that because, you know, powerful business people, we never talked about that. Heck, I didn't even know if my colleagues had kids. I'm serious. That's how we operated in those days. That was a long time ago. I've been online for 10 years now, and I'm telling you right now, the transition is happening. We're in it. So I talk about, in my book, I talk about the tipping point, and I tell you, we've already gone into the tipping point. Now here's what you can do. You can participate in this. So what you do is you start to clean up your house, and you start to change how you live, and you get rid of plastic. You stop using it. You have got to start to transition your life right now, even if you're not going to go off grid. By the way, off-grid doesn't mean you don't have electricity and all these other things, right? We're just going to use different forms of energy, you know, maybe solar and other things. And the people that I work with out there off on these properties, man, they live luxurious lives, smaller, more simpler lives, and they're sustainable, self-sufficient. So you have to start living that way now, because you're going to, what we're doing, when we say no to the fast food, to the drugs that are bad for us, to all of the buying stuff that's plastic from countries that don't care about the planet. When we stop supporting those, we put them out of business, and they'll flourish. They'll find something else that's healthy. They're going to have to. I don't care why they do it. If they do it for their money, I'm fine, as long as it's not hurting the planet. Their intentions, not my business. But what I focus on and contribute to, so there are very, very wealthy individuals, organizations, that if we start to put our attention and our money and our efforts into that, then we pull away from fueling and funding these destructive institutions, organizations, businesses, and we start to fuel these guys, and we participate in it because we're now living it. So we can't talk about it and complain and still live this way. It just doesn't work. You will never go into the new earth that way. It's impossible. If you guys come over, if you guys are in my list, I have a brand spanking new platform coming out. We're shifting our realities. If you shift just once, if you have one mind shift, your entire life changed. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I have free stuff. I have a free class, a mini course. If we shift one way of thinking, when we let go of our fears and our false beliefs and our restrictions and limitations, you will go over here and realize there's nothing you can't do, be, or have. And there are powerful people that know this and are funding it. All right? Positive businesses, recognizing people out there who, just everyday people, their talents and skills, giving them a chance to become something powerful in a positive way. It's not that little circle of, you know, hey buddy, bat you on the back, let's have a martini at the clubhouse anymore. They may be doing it, but they've got other plans. And they are opening themselves up to that new earth, that new world, and it's happening, and I'm hearing it constantly. All right, so I wanted you to know this. You're going to hear more about this. You're going to hear more about the ones that are in spaces like the government. I'm going to talk more about that. In companies, even on Wall Street, that are sitting there and not speaking about certain things, but planning for a new earth that they're creating, not waiting for. They're taking action, and you need to. So you're that important. You are that important. You are that important. If I put this puzzle together and your piece is missing, we don't have a whole picture. It's just that simple. Every single person watching this video has equal power. Don't you think you're below anybody else. You are the source. You're the creator, the creation, and the intelligence behind it. That means you can change your reality. And if you don't think you can, and you're like, how do I do this? How do I change my thoughts, Landria? Come on over. I've got some new stuff coming out in business, finances, your personal life, your spiritual life. We're going to hit it all, because it's just one mind shift. And it shifts you into a new reality and a new life. And then that changes the collective. It shifts everything. It shifts everything. If I move one grain of sand, you may not see the other shift, but every single one of them does because of you. You are perfect. You always have been. Everything else is the veil. Please read my book. This will make perfect sense. Those of you, thank you. So many of you have ordered the book, but please go to Amazon and give me a review. Unless it's a bad one, then don't do it. By the way, don't give me a bad review because your Kindle isn't working. That's not a book review. Let me know if your Kindle isn't working. I've contacted them and we're working on it. I don't know what the deal is. It was all submitted properly. They're saying it's working, so if you have a problem, I've actually sent people the PDF to make up for that, okay? So if you have a problem, you email me and we'll take care of you because I want to get this information out. So come on over. You're going to see all the new stuff coming over. Click here for free videos to create online businesses. I'm going to show you 101 ways to do that. We're change makers. You are perfect. You're strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my beautiful light beam. Namaste.